Chapter 373, Summoning the Armored Shadow Again. After 15 minutes, Madam Magician replied with a brief letter. The Iron and Blood Cross orders investigation into the Sauron family's decline contradicts my previous speculations. It seems that what they claim to have may not align with their actual possessions. Perhaps they possess only critical information that allows them to achieve their goals under specific conditions. One of these conditions is unavoidable for the Sauron family. Lumien's temples throbbed at Madam Magician's response. She had conveyed a lot, but the crucial details remained elusive. While he understood each word individually, their combined meaning eluded him. What does the Iron and Blood Cross order actually possess, and what does it claim? Lumien massaged his temples and continued reading. This situation presents both danger and opportunity for you. Investigating the truth behind the Sauron family's downfall is a mission I eagerly anticipate. Mr. Fool assigned this long-term mission to our tarot club, much like the Two of Cups interacting with the Demoness sect to confirm the primordial demoness's condition. There's no need to rush. Take your time, even if it takes years to complete. Lumien was taken aback. He had expected Franca's major arcana, Madam Judgment, to agree to her contact with the Demoness sect. But what kind of terrifying mission was it to ascertain the primordial demoness's condition? That was a true deity. Based on Lumien's recent knowledge from various sources, not only was direct observation of deities impossible, but attempting to understand their specific situation was exceedingly perilous. As for the evil gods like the one known as inevitability, mere awareness of their existence equated to corruption. A long-term mission, a task that could only be completed once Franca achieved demigod status. Lumien thoughtfully read the last sentence of Madam Magician's reply. Focus on this matter. If you need help or find yourself in a bind, contact me in advance. As for the Aurora Order, refrain from participating in other missions. Concentrate on the Iron and Blood Cross Order. I believe Mr. K will understand. Madam Magician had previously tasked me with infiltrating the Aurora Order and slowly gaining Mr. K's trust, with the ultimate goal of becoming an oracle. However, it is apparent from her tone that priorities had shifted. Now, she emphasizes giving precedence to the Iron and Blood Cross Order. Lumien discerned this as a significant signal from her reply. Crimson flames erupted as Lumien burned the letter in his hand. He slung a satchel over his shoulder and placed the flog boxing gloves inside. Then, he made his way to Rue des Blouses Blanches. He located a random cafe and had breakfast there. It wasn't until nearly 9 o'clock that Lumien knocked on the door of apartment 601. Franca didn't express any annoyance at being awakened this time. She didn't appear to be asleep, wearing a troubled expression instead. Upon seeing Lumien, she tugged at her flaxen-colored hair, which was left untied, and said, "Guess what? I've accepted a suicide mission." Confirming the primordial demoness's condition, Lumien chuckled. Sensing that Franca had done so willingly, he no longer fretted about her. "How did you know?" Franca asked, surprised. "Do you want to hear the truth or a lie? For the lie, I divined it. The truth is, I just reported the recent situation to my major arcana card holder, and she mentioned your choice." Lumien strolled over to the divan and sat down casually. "Where's Jenna?" Realization dawned on Franca as she casually said, "To Theater de Elanchon, Cage of Pigeons." Ever since she received her father's compensation, she's been keen on instigation. Yesterday, she poached a supporting actress whose contract had expired and convinced her to switch to a theater in Quartier de la Cathédrale commemorative. While it did boost her income significantly, I could have matched the offer if I had been informed. Theater de Elanchon, Cage à Pigeons has been quite profitable lately. Franca didn't hold a grudge against Jenna because Jenna had sought her opinion beforehand and obtained her approval. She believed such instigations were beneficial. Plus, having a supporting actress leave opened up opportunities for apprentices like Jenna and the former dancers. After recounting the matter briefly, Franca sighed and continued, "Madam Judgment only wants me to interact with the Demoness sect. Under the condition that I control my desires and mental state, I can use their resources to enhance myself, monitor their activities, and understand their immediate plans. Confirming the primordial demoness's condition can be considered once I truly attain godhood and become a saint. I can deduce certain situations through the demoness sex activities, their recent plans, and the reactions during prayers to the primordial demoness. Aren't you troubled by the mission? Lumion raised his eyebrows. Franca sighed. I am troubled by the mission, but what's troubling is that I'll remain a demoness at Sequence 4. I won't be able to transform back into a man. You can wait until Sequence 3, Lumion suggested with a relaxed demeanor. That's true, although it would be even more challenging. Franca had thought it through and then asked why Lumion had suddenly reported the situation to Madame Magician. Lumion briefly recounted his experience at Red Swan Castle from yesterday and Gardner Martin's words, omitting specific details. Franca listened intently, contemplating for a moment before saying, Our current missions combined involve the secrets and movements of the relevant factions within the Hunter and Demoness pathways. The Tarot Club appears to attach great importance to such matters. Lumion chuckled. That's the only way we'll have a chance. Franca acknowledged his words tersely and suddenly remembered something. How much gold did you command Count Puffer to give you? 30,000, Lumion replied honestly. Franca's eyes lit up. How much gold do you have now? 75,000. I can add another 6,000 at any time, Lumion disclosed without hesitation. Franca's smile widened. Then I'll lend you 25,000 first, interest-free. Let's summon the armored shadow tonight and try to figure things out before the gathering next week. You have 25,000 Veraldor. Lumion was mildly surprised. He recalled that Franca had spent all her savings to advance to the demoness of pleasure. Franca said smugly, I received 20,000 Veraldor for assisting you in dealing with Guillaume Bainet, and Gardner Martin has been quite generous lately. He entrusted me with managing most of the earnings from Theater de l'Ancien, Cage à Pigeons, and the dancers. Madame Judgment even provided me with 10,000 to support my activities. Your earnings are quite impressive as well. Lumion realized that while the profits from Theater de l'Ancien, Cage à Pigeons, and the dancers might not match those of Salle de Bal Brise, they were undoubtedly substantial. If Franca could claim a significant portion of them, she could easily make around 20,000 per month. He nodded and said, All right, we'll perform the summoning ritual at 11 tonight at the same place the other time. Franca's joy was palpable. I'll arrange for someone to exchange the 25,000 gold right away. Late at night, at wrist docks, within the charred remains of a building. Franca observed Lumion as he set up the altar and placed all the gold upon it. Rather than staying outside the wall of spirituality, she chose to remain by her companion's side. Lumion proceeded to light the candles one by one, letting the essential oil drip. Stepping back, he intoned, The fool that doesn't belong to this era. Almost simultaneously, Franca chanted Mr. Fool's honorific name, ensuring her safety in the presence of the ritual's power. Soon, amid the faint fog and a sense of impending danger, Lumion recited the final part of the incantation. In the name of the great fool, I summon. The spirit that wanders the void, a combination of numerous shadows, Lumion Lee's contracted creature. Within the wavering candlelight, an ethereal door adorned with enigmatic symbols materialized. From it emerged a shadowy figure clad in dark armor reminiscent of fish scales. Just as before, each scale seemed to bear a face, each belonging to a different creature. Those are indeed fish scales. Franca couldn't tear her gaze away, her anticipation and anxiety. Overriding the eerie ambience that surrounded them, and the evident malevolence emanating from the armored shadow. Lumion locked eyes with the armored shadow and spoke in Hermes. I will fulfill the contract and offer you gold valued at 100,000 Veraldor. To be honest, Lumion harbored some doubts about the 100,000 Veraldor worth of gold. The ever-changing exchange rates between Veraldor and gold left him uncertain whether he should prepare the amount based on the exchange rate at the time of signing the contract or the current rate. As a precaution, he had only acquired an additional 1,000 Veraldor worth of gold as a backup. As Lumion finished his words, the gold bars, jewelry, and various items on the altar suddenly disintegrated, transforming into golden particles that flew toward the mysterious illusory door. Most of these particles landed on the armored shadow, while a few passed through the open illusory door and disappeared. Gradually, almost a fifth of the armored shadow's pitch-black armor, resembling fish scales, transformed into gold. It was no longer dark and foreboding, but radiated a holy and pristine aura. Franca's eyes widened. Legends and terms from her original world rushed into her mind as she muttered to herself. Could this be the reconstruction of the golden body? In her memory, the golden body referred to the golden powder or gold foil applied to the surface of idol statues. Sometimes, it denoted the special form of someone with godlike status or significant achievements. The armored shadow now resembled a weathered statue that had been rejuvenated with a coating of golden powder. When all the gold on the altar had vanished, Lumion sensed that the contract had been completely fulfilled. Taking the opportunity, he asked on Franca's behalf in Hermes, "Where do you come from?" The armored shadow opened its mouth and spoke with a deep, dignified, and somewhat sinister voice. However, Lumion couldn't comprehend its words at all. He could only watch in confusion as the armored shadow returned to the illusory door. Once the summoning ritual concluded, Lumion turned to Franca and noticed that her companion seemed lost in thought, her brows furrowed. His heart stirred as he asked, "Did you understand the armored shadow's response?" Franca nodded slowly. "The language he used is very similar to the language from my home world," he said. Franca paused and muttered to herself, puzzlement evident on her face. The blood sun of heaven disrupted the netherworld, and the underworld Taoist sacrificed himself to enter the river.